Welcome to Art Unscripted, where we explore the world of art through conversations with people shaping how we see, experience, and live with art. I'm Gayatri. Thank you for joining us.
For me, art has become a passion, and I think I'm connected to my higher self through art, and I feel very relaxed now.
Today's episode is all about something every art collector, no matter how seasoned, remembers vividly: the first piece. The first encounter with a work that makes you pause, look closer, and take it home. It's more than a transaction, it's the beginning of a personal journey. And to help us explore this journey, I'm thrilled to be joined by Sumit Suneja, an engineer and entrepreneur who runs a successful auto parts manufacturing company supplying to several OEMs across India. But today, we're not talking about business. We're talking about his unexpected journey with art. Sumit began collecting 9 years ago when he moved into a new home in South Delhi. What began as a search for something beautiful to hang on his walls turned into something much deeper, a passion and a way of life. Today, he's here to tell us about how a decorative choice became a lifelong relationship with art, how his tastes evolved, and what he's learned about living with art along the way. Sumit, welcome to Art Unscripted. We are really thrilled to invite Sumit Suneja.
Thanks for having me here, Gayatri.
We understand that you started your journey with collection 9 years ago, when you were looking at moving to South Delhi.
Yes.
Earlier, it was like more looking at something that's just beautiful to decorate your home. But that transformed into a journey, a very personal, deep journey. So we wanted to learn a little more about that.
Okay. Now, my journey is going to be very similar to a lot of collectors' journey, first generation collectors' journeys, which all starts with doing up your house or making a new house. Made a new house, bought new furniture, interior designer suggested, okay, now you made this drawing room, this work should come here, this painting should come here. So we started with decorative artists. I'm not going to name them, but you know the decorative artists. So we bought these 6-7 works just to decorate a house. Once we started buying art, then the gallery started inviting us for various exhibitions. So once they start inviting you for exhibitions, then you get exposed to artists which are not purely decorative. And that's when you explore contemporary artists as well. And that's when I started exploring the masters also, the Razas and the Hussains of the world. So from decorative artists, I moved towards the masters, the artists you buy on auctions. Once that is done, then the phase 3 is, okay, been there, done that. You've collected decorative artists, you've collected the big names. Now is the time to start collecting art which actually makes you happy, which intrigues you, and that doesn't mean, or that is not dependent on the name of the artist. So if I'm passing through an exhibition, passing through an art fair, or I'm visiting your gallery, whichever work pulls me is the work I'm going to buy.
So something that moves you, something that kind of connects with you.
Now in phase 3, now I just buy what I like. Once I decide that I like a particular work, I start doing research on the artist, and then I buy the work. And now the names don't matter anymore.
And that's wonderful because now basically it follows, you're following your heart, you're following with what connects. Every piece actually speaks about you as a person. But I'm going to go back to how you started because it's, I think what's really nice to hear about is that evolution. Because as you said, it'll be a story for many people, but many people are about to start that journey. And therefore it's an interesting way to kind of like look at this.
I want to strongly advise those people who want to buy art but haven't started buying art. Please don't ask your relatives and your friends what the big names are, what you should buy. No. Google the names of the galleries, visit those galleries and see what they have displayed and then make your choice. So if your neighbor has a particular decorative artist hanging on their wall, please don't buy it. First go visit the galleries, visit exhibits. There are so many exhibitions in Delhi happening all the time now, Bikaner House, 𝗳𝗏𝗃, this and that, your gallery. So just visit the galleries, see the artists, see what you like. See the art you can live with, buy that art.
Yeah, so it's not about the name, it's not about...
It's good to have names, especially if you like, I mean, I like Hussain, I love Raza. So you have those and you have these also, but follow your heart.
So, do you still own your first piece of work?
I haven't sold or gotten rid of even a single piece.
So then tell me something as a collector, how do you manage the collection that
You
have?
first fill your house with art, then you go to your office, then you start gifting your work to your brothers and sisters and your relatives, then you go to your factories. So every piece of property that I own is full of art, you can't miss it. So much so, when you come to my office building and when you ask the guard, 𝗏𝗏𝗃 कहाँ है, he'll say जिसमें बहुत सारी painting टंगी हुई थी वो 𝗏𝗏𝗃 है. So my offices look like galleries.
That's amazing. So do you see any kind of a reaction like with people who haven't started collecting, and when they come to you,
Trust me, everybody I know, my friends or family who are not collecting art, they visit my house, they visit my office, they get converted into collectors within 3 to 4 months.
Oh wow. So that means in this journey you've
really
created many collectors.
It really rubs on.
So tell me, when did you realize that this wasn't that one-time thing and that art had started to become a root of your life?
I never realized it. I got pulled into it.
So it was just like you...
As I said, you people start inviting us for your exhibitions, your art shows, and we visit. And once you visit, then there's no going back. So if someone who visits art fair, the India Art Fair in Delhi or the Mumbai one, it's amazing. So I think people in India are discovering art now because people are showing art now.
True.
Earlier, art had a very snob value. When I started collecting art, people would actually try to judge you. They would try to figure out, are you rich enough? Can you afford this Vaikunthaṁ? Can you afford this artist or that art? Now galleries don't do that. Thank God there are galleries like you who don't judge the person who walks into their stall or in their gallery.
Yeah, I think also the whole idea for us also when we look at art is that art is for everyone.
Absolutely.
Everyone should be
able to view it
and come view it. It should be that pausing space. We all live in a very, very aggressively fast moving world. There's the galleries at one place that they can come and pause.
Absolutely.
So that's something that we encourage a lot.
A visit to the galleries should be a Sunday thing. Instead of going to the mall, people should like what they do in New York and London. They visit the museums and the galleries. That's how the weekends should be spent. So you people should be welcoming.
Yes, and I wish a lot more people thought like you. So for a person from an engineering and manufacturing background, was there any influence in how you approach art, perhaps in terms of detail, process? Do you see any link at all?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. There's no correlation.
Would you describe like the kind of work you gravitate towards? Is there something that you like more than anything else?
I've definitely moved away from colorful decorative works because in the longer run they become a little difficult to live with for me personally. So I prefer subdued and those kind of works, so not very bright works. But otherwise, whether it's abstraction or objective works like figurative, landscape, still I love all genres.
All of them, But and what about in terms of now in your next journey, contemporary, modern, is there a preference?
Trust me, I am not going to judge. I am not going to tell myself I am a contemporary collector, I am a modernist collector. So it's like if you're wearing a western dress today, tomorrow if you decide to wear a sari, what's wrong in it? So I don't care what I buy. I'm not going to say, okay, I only collect Sousa, I only collect Raza, or I only collect so and so artist, whether I only collect 𝗏𝗃 Chaudhary. No, it's not going to be like that. I'm going to buy whatever pulls me. And that's why if you look at my collection, there's every artist from every genre, every generation, because I just buy whatever I like.
And how often do you visit a gallery or an
At least once a week on Sundays, and it's a pity, and that's what I tell a lot of galleries, including your mothers, that please don't shut off on Sundays. People like us who work hard to be able to make money to buy art, you say we are not open on Sundays, then when do we visit? Weekdays we are slogging it out.
True. I think a lot of galleries have got that, that
it's not a good thing. You should be open on Sundays. I've given a lot of feedback to people. I said, how can you be closed on Sunday? Are you targeting only housewives? What about the working men and women? Because we have no time. We reach home at 8 p.m. Sunday is the only time when we can, view art or
view art, yeah. No, it's a fair thing. And so you say once a week.
Once a week I have to be somewhere.
Wow.
There are so many shows happening now.
All the time.
It's really good.
All the
The art
time.
scene in India is really good now. This is the best time to be into art.
So tell me, between art fairs and galleries and exhibitions, which one do you find the most interesting?
Art fairs for a macro view. It's like a helicopter. When you fly up, you can get a wider view. After the art fair, visiting those galleries which you liked for a micro view. Okay.
So it's like, yeah, it gives you like a perspective and say, okay, fine, these are the things that are interesting me, then I can now dive deeper into this.
Yeah. So I liked what 𝗵𝗫𝗀𝗃 showed in the art fair. Now let me start visiting this gallery. So art fair is a very good platform for you to decide what you like, which gallery represents which artist, so that you have a fair idea.
Do you go to Bombay also?
No, I didn't go to Bombay. I was busy with some.
So will you go this year?
Absolutely.
So tell me something, now you have a large collection.
Yeah.
Does your collection tell a story? Do you think it kind of tells people a little about you?
No, and I don't want it to tell people anything about me. I don't believe in that. I don't. It should tell people that I buy whatever suits my.
But that in a way tells you something. Something.
For example,
it's indirect.
It's like saying, where do you go for summer vacation? Oh, Switzerland? Oh, you like the mountains. So which means you'll always go to the mountains. No, I can go to a beach destination also. No? If this year I'm going to Switzerland, tomorrow I can go to Maldives. So why in art do I have to be so restrictive that no, I only buy abstracts, I'll only buy Ram Kumar or Gaitonde or whatever. Why can't I like anything and everything?
True. True.
You can appreciate a good abstraction, you can appreciate a good contemporary art, you can appreciate a good still life, a good landscape, a good Bengal school. Why not?
So if you, if I ask you, when you walk into a room, do you always feel that there is that one work that anchors a space?
You always have favorite works, and there are always works which look good in a particular setting.
Yeah.
For example, in my office has a very contemporary setting. I have very contemporary Scandinavian furniture. So all the works hang there, Zarinas. So Zarinas with black and white, that's the setting of my office.
Stunning
so
in a contemporary space.
My drawing room is very extravagant, very luxurious. So Razas and very bright colors of Hussain, though I personally don't like bright colors, but that's one Hussain I like, a Krishna.
So earlier you did kind of go with color, and then over time as your taste evolved, you mellowed down.
Yeah, you go for duller colors. Yeah.
So we quite often get this, that why are most of your artists not colorful? If you notice, a lot of our artists don't use a huge amount of color.
Yes.
So we do get that quite often with people who walk into the gallery.
Because when they buy a few pieces of art, they'll themselves migrate from too much color to less color.
To less color.
From experience, I can say that.
I know you've already answered this question, that you purely buy on instinct and emotion.
Yes, I don't ask people, "Ye artist kaisa hai? What is there? What tell me?" No, I want to read about the artist, what the artist has to say about his or her art, and then I make a call.
So has this been a situation where you walked in, known nothing about the artist is completely unknown, followed your instinct and emotion?
You know the artist. I went to art fair.
Yes.
I didn't know it was your stall. I saw Rinku Chaudhary's work and I immediately asked you how much.
Yeah.
You said it's not available. I said, but I want it. And then somehow you decided to give it to me. So that's exactly how I buy. I really don't ask, "Ye artist kaun hai?" So of course later on I'll go and do a research on the artist because I'm intrigued. I want to know more about this artist who's painted such a beautiful picture. But I don't even ask the price. First I decide I'm going to buy this, and then I say, okay, how much is it for? Because I need to pay.
Tell me something, like how much time did you spend in the art fair?
3 days.
It's all 3 days?
Yeah, as much as you did.
Okay, if you had to now look at a version of yourself from 9 years ago, before you started collecting, do you think this has changed your life, the way you approach life?
Absolutely. I've become a much calmer person. I've started staying at home more because I like the art on my walls. I think my house is the prettiest, so I love to be at home. I like showing off my art to people, to my relatives, which is okay. And like some people play golf to burst their stress, some people listen to music, some people go to clubs, some people go for a drink. Art is my stress buster.
It's your therapy also, right?
And it's the best therapy.
Okay, how did you navigate your early experience with galleries, pricing, artists? were there early mistakes that you made?
As I said earlier, galleries, even now the older galleries, they still judge you. They want to know that do you have the bank balance to enter their gallery or buy their. Now the younger galleries are very friendly and they're much more fun to visit actually. So if I have to spend a Sunday, I would go to the younger galleries.
Less stiff.
More fun.
Yeah.
The artists are also younger and
Yes.
there's so much.
More new things to see and
it's
discover.
more interesting, right?
Yeah. So initially it was intimidating. Over time
It was absolutely intimidating. When I started collecting art, every time I had to go to a gallery, I would wear better clothes. I would try to look richer. Now I don't care. Maybe my confidence has gone up, or maybe your attitude has changed. The gallery's attitude has changed. Earlier, I had to make sure that I look rich enough. I used to tell my driver, take out the most expensive car because we're going to a gallery. It's a fact.
Yeah, no, I have had a collector who come and told me that, oh, we want to buy your work, but when I walked in, there was no one willing to help me.
Yeah, and this is especially about the old Delhi gallery, huh?
So, do you see a sense of responsibility as a collector to support artists meaningfully and to promote their work?
Absolutely. I want to remove the tag which is in India called struggling artists. A lot of young artists have told me, sir, please buy from us, we are struggling artists. I said, you've done BFA from here, you're from Baroda, MFA, why are you calling yourself a struggling artist? You can call yourself a newcomer or someone who's just graduated. Why do you call yourself a struggling artist? So yes, we have to support, not just us, you guys also, galleries also, you have to support in promoting and selling and buying younger artists. The older ones or the dead ones are getting more and more expensive.
Yes,
and nobody's looking at the younger ones.
True.
I mean, why?
Every time you buy a younger artist, you impact their life directly.
Absolutely.
Which is not there with a dead artist.
And I think when you buy younger artists, you become younger. Seriously, because the way the mind works, the way they paint, it really changes your thinking also.
And also it directly influences the life you live in.
Yes,
because they are talking about these times.
Absolutely.
They're talking about what we are going through.
Absolutely. You look at the Western world, America, and all the young artists are the pricing is very high. Here, no.
Yeah, and so when we started Art and Sep, there was very few platforms for emerging artists. So it is nice to see now that there is a lot more emerging art being shown, but a lot more collectors looking at emerging art. And I think that's the most important.
One more thing I want to say here, I've been visiting art fairs for the past 8 years. From the last 2 years, I have started observing that the amount of young artists shown are much, much higher now, which means there's going to be a paradigm shift. People are shifting.
Also, I think there's a larger base of collectors coming up.
That's good news again.
That's also good news. What do you think about Indian art in the world context?
Honestly, I do not venture into international art, so I really don't know what is happening there. But the good news is we have 140 crore people here. We are so self-sufficient that let Indian art come to every Indian home first. Then we'll think about the world. Because we are a huge market in India itself. Everybody who's working in IT, so you live in Gurgaon, everybody who buys a flat, the first thing they started doing is buying art to decorate their flat.
Yeah, I think that's one huge change you've seen in 10, 15
Earlier,
years.
people would not spend on art.
People didn't buy, they left the walls bare or put posters or wallpapers. But today, I think that one thing is there, that when someone renovates the house, they get at least a couple of pieces of art. It may be decorative, but at least there's something that needs to be on the walls. So that's a huge change also.
Absolutely.
So living with art, has it changed how you view creativity, emotion, or even the idea of home?
Absolutely. As I told you now you feel like staying home. Because you find your house so pretty now, you find it's so much better, so much more welcoming. There's so much color and then there's so much expression on the walls. Yeah. And
what about like in terms of creativity, maybe at work or anything, do you feel that it kind of, has there a change?
Yeah, it brings down your temper. A good art on the wall, if you're stressed, it works. I want to say this on the camera, it really works. If you're stressed, if you're angry and you have a good piece of work on the wall, just have a look at it, you'll calm down. It's like saying, they say take a deep breath in, don't do all that, just look at the art.
I used to be in consulting, and when I moved to the art world, Someone asked me, how's it? I was like, the thing is, you might have had the worst day at home, but when I walk in and suddenly a shipment arrives and there's a new artwork, and I've forgotten everything else. It's just the calm of enjoying every piece of art that arrives.
I'll give you an instance. So every factory of ours, every office of ours has a lot of art, and we have pet dogs, which are stress busters. So I have a factory, a plant in 𝗵𝗂𝗃. So I transferred some people from here to there, and their complaint is, sir, यहाँ ना तो art है और ना ही pet dogs हैं.
So now you need to fix that.
Yeah. So look at this.
So you're slowly converting, and everyone's getting used to that environment.
Yes. It really suits the environment.
Yeah, I totally agree. Even pet dogs really make a huge difference. This is like, have you had any memorable experience engaging with an emerging artist, maybe through a video, through a studio visit or an art fair? And what stood out of that artist?
Some of the artists have become my very good friends. Okay. They became my good friends because I started buying their art repetitively. And I've seen their journey, by the way, from being very unknown to being slightly known, and now
very
quite known. So I've been with them through this journey. I keep meeting them, I keep talking to them, I keep buying their art. Their dedication towards their art, their patience, it's mind-blowing. You said, na, how has art changed your personality or your traits or your nature, or do you feel better with not just the art, when you interact with the artists, you feel better. They don't give up, they'll just keep painting, they'll just keep believing in their art. Of course, they'll keep evolving also with time, but then their patience is commendable.
So that interesting thing then is for you to be actually buying different works that kind of document their time and how they evolve over time.
Their focus on their art, their patience. So it's very, very interesting when it's not just the art, it's the artist also. Like if you look at a senior artist like Krishan Khanna, it's not just about his art. He has so many stories to tell. Of course, now he's a senior most artist and people love to hear his stories. But there are stories not with him, there are stories with the younger artists also.
Yes,
a 20-something or a 30-something-year-old artist. They have so many stories to tell. Not just the senior 80, 90, 100-year-old artists, the younger artists also have stories to tell. That why they are painting this, what inspires them, why they've shifted from a particular style to this style, how have they migrated or upgraded or whatever, shifted to this style, how they work, at what time of the day they work, what music do they listen to when they paint, what is their focus, what inspires them. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it is, and also I think
it's a process.
Yeah, and they also show you a different part of the world or the life you live in.
There are artists who tell me that they only listen to this particular. There's an artist called 𝗵𝗂𝗶 who's a friend now, that he only listens to this particular Hindustani classical singer when he paints, because that's when he can paint. And there are so many interesting stories.
Wow. No, but that's true. I mean, like, I feel that the artists, when you talk to them, they give you a different perspective.
Absolutely.
They open the window to another world.
And you know, when you connect with the artist and you know the artist, and galleries should see to it that the buyer
meets the artist.
And without getting scared, direct na kharid le and all that. Because then when you hang the artist's work, then you connect more. Acha, ye uska kaam hai. Oh, I had this conversation with this artist.
Yeah, and you understand, I mean, the nuances in the work, because once you know the person who's created it, because the artist is putting themselves in their work.
In fact, the galleries should arrange meetings of buyer and the artist. It really helps.
We do actually always try to bring our artists to speak to, and in fact, I'll do that with Rinku for you.
Yeah.
Do you feel a sense of responsibility or excitement when you're buying work by a younger artist? I think that you already said. Yeah. And is it a different kind of emotional investment for you? Is it different when you buy a young artist and when you buy?
Absolutely, because you feel good that you're investing into an artist who you think will do well because you have faith in his abilities.
And that means it feels very good for the artist.
Yeah. It's like whether you buy a blue chip share or you invest in a startup. So this is like investing in a startup.
Yeah.
Here you're investing in a startup and you're more excited about it.
Yeah. So if there was someone listening, what would you kind of say who's looking at buying their first work?
I would say…
what advice would you give them?
As I said earlier, visit galleries, Visit a lot of shows, a lot of galleries, and please read about the artist and then take your call depending on your budget.
Okay, this is one question that I think all of us have to ask, and that is, there's a lot of talk about authenticity and fakes.
Yeah.
What would your advice be to young collectors looking at buying modern art?
I will tell you what I have started doing. If I have to buy a master, I buy it from the top auction houses or from a gallery in whom I have complete faith. Okay? So I either have to be very sure about the gallery, I have been dealing with them for years, or have to buy from a top-notch auction house. Second thing is just focus on the younger artists, because there's no question of buying fakes, plus you end up buying more works at the same price.
You can have a bigger collection.
Yes, yes.
In your opinion, what should young collectors keep in mind when approaching emerging art? Especially in a market where there's an overwhelming
whatever touches them,
share.
Whatever pulls you. A good art which you like will pull you.
So you have to basically let something pull you and not be trend driven.
Yes, yes. And if you think that they're all the same to you, then you're not exposed properly. Please visit more galleries, more exhibitions.
Because, I mean, what is your comment on trend driven or keeping that whole someone buys a piece of work and then everybody...
That's how I started, no? As I said, that's how you start. Everybody who's a first generation, for a second generation collector, it could be different because you're already exposed at home. For the first generation, it's usually like this, that oh, he and she is buying this artist, so I should also buy this artist. Fine, you do that, but please visit galleries, exhibitions and see what you like and then take a call.
So it's been really, really interesting because it is now what you see that you started first just because you were renovating your house.
Yeah.
It was to decorate your walls. Over time, it's become a passion to the extent that you visit a show at least once a week.
Not just I have changed, the situation has changed. Please understand, 8 years ago, there were not so many galleries, there were not so many shows. Right now, every Sunday, Saturday, I can go to a Bikaner house. 8 years ago, this situation was not there. The situation has become much better now. So now you can afford to take your time, go around, visit different shows and then decide.
So if there was this one rule that, or one golden piece of advice that you'd give a collector who's never bought, has been sitting on that edge and wants to buy that first piece, what would it be?
Has he shortlisted any work? So he's just...
Nothing. It's like there are people on the edge. It's like I want to buy a work, but there's so much, it's always the first work that tends to be.
Don't buy an expensive work. Buy a small work when you are unsure, so that you don't feel guilty कि ये क्या खरीद लिया, इतने पैसे लगा दिए. Buy a work which you find affordable, but buy it after a lot of research, after visiting a lot of galleries. Pick up the work which suits you, which you like and which is pocket friendly, so that you don't feel the guilt afterwards. And after that, if you like staying with art, then progress.
So have you had a situation where you've gone and seen a piece of work and at that point looked at it and left, but that work hasn't left your mind and you had to go back and then buy it?
All the time. All the time. It's only very recently that I've started buying works very promptly. Earlier I would go home, think about it, do a lot of research. It's only now that I've become very spontaneous in my purchases.
Would you say that art has changed your life in a way?
If you watch these gurus and all who come on Instagram and YouTube, they say, how do you connect with God? And the sensible gurus, not the Ram Krishna ones. So they say the only way to connect with God or to your higher self is by having a passion. That passion could be music, that passion could be a sport you play, that passion could be art. For me, art has become a passion, and I think I'm connected to my higher self through art, and I feel very relaxed now. So yes, art has completely changed my life.
That's so amazing. Thank you so much, Sumit, for sharing your
here.
Journey. And for those people who are still sitting on the edge, I think Sumit's journey and his story will hopefully nudge you to buy that first piece of work.
Start small, but please do start.
Thank you so much, Sumit. It's really been amazing to have you here. And for those listening, please, if you like this conversation, follow us and do share it with a fellow art lover. Until next time,
thank you.
Happy collecting.
Thank you.